Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the only sanctuary in the digital world where we refuse to accept the surface-level narrative. Welcome to Whatever You Need. Today, we are not here to discuss a simple Instagram detox or a celebrity taking a break from the flashing lights. We are here to analyze an insurrection. We are here to dissect a rebellion against the modern machinery of fame. Kerem Bürsin, a man whose smile has graced 1,000 billboards, has done the unthinkable. He has silenced the noise, shut down his public persona, and declared war on the established order of the tabloids. He didn't post stories. He didn't offer glimpses into his breakfast or his workouts. He didn't turn his romance into a reality show for our consumption. And then, from the depths of this calculated silence, came a phrase that shattered the glass ceiling of celebrity expectations: "This superficiality suffocated me." But we must ask, is this merely a moment of catharsis? Or is it a calculated message from Kerem Bürsin to an industry built on fake relationships and digital metrics? Why did the brands suddenly pull the plug? What truly happened behind the closed doors of his management agency? And what role does the enigmatic Selin play in this narrative of liberation? We are going to talk about all of this in this video. Because this story isn't just a love story. It is the story of a conscious disappearance in the age of hypervisibility. And what you will hear at the end of this video might completely dismantle and reconstruct your perspective on who Kerem Bürsin actually is. So do not click away. The truth is often found in the silence. Before we dive into the deep end, please ensure you are subscribed to our channel. If you value this kind of deep dive journalism, hit the like button, and for those who want to support our mission directly, the join button is waiting for you. Become a part of the Whatever You Need family today. Now, let's unravel the mystery. In the glittering, ravenous world of celebrity gossip, some decisions appear on the surface to be mere personal choices, a digital cleanse, a moment of privacy. But behind the scenes, these choices can shake the very foundations of the system. Kerem Bürsin's decision to turn his back on social media had exactly that kind of seismic effect. It was not a momentary whim born of exhaustion, nor was it a passing fit of anger directed at a negative comment. This was a conscious, calculated, and philosophical break, the consequences of which were undoubtedly foreseen well in advance by a man who knows the industry inside out. Kerem Bürsin didn't just delete a few Instagram posts or archive his memories. With this decision, he openly challenged the established order of the tabloid press, the digital spectacle that demands constant content, and the pervasive mentality that dictates, if you are not visible, you do not exist. It was a burning of the hoarder's wallet, a rejection of the accumulated social currency that every modern star is told they must hoard. And it was precisely at this moment of negation that everyone from Istanbul to Madrid started asking the same question. Did love truly triumph, or did Kerem Bürsin embark on a completely different battle against the very machinery that made him a star? We live in an era where the currency of talent has been devalued by the inflation of visibility. Today, in the ruthless ecosystem of tabloid journalism and brand partnerships, visibility almost takes precedence over acting ability. The questions asked in boardrooms are no longer, how is his range, or can he carry a scene? Instead, they ask, how many followers does he have? How many stories did he post this week? Which brands is he tagging? These questions have overshadowed the art of performance. Kerem Bürsin put a hard stop to this system. He pulled the emergency brake on a train moving at full speed. According to persistent rumors circulating in the marketing world, the famous actor's decision to maintain a low profile on social media led to immediate financial repercussions. Brands, who view actors not as artists but as billboards, began withdrawing their offers. Requests for lucrative advertising deals dropped significantly, and some offers that were on the table were quietly shelved. The tabloids, in their cynical wisdom, summarized this situation as a waste of time or career suicide. However, for Kerem Bürsin, the equation was never about the money. According to those closest to his inner circle, what mattered most was his mental freedom and the ferocious protection of his private life. He was willing to pay the price of silence, even if the check was steep. There is a phrase that has been whispered through the gossip circles of Istanbul, a mantra supposedly uttered by Kerem Bürsin behind closed doors that explains this radical shift: everyone lives to be watched. I want to live. This single sentence is a manifesto. It clearly elucidates why he does not record his concerts through the screen of a phone, why he does not share the intimate details of his vacations, and why he refuses to flaunt his love life for likes. In his philosophy, a moment loses its essential meaning the second it is shared for external validation. It ceases to be a memory and becomes content. This perspective, while isolating him in an industry that thrives on oversharing, also sets him apart as a figure of rare authenticity. He is choosing the texture of reality over the gloss of the screen. One cannot discuss this transformation without addressing the catalyst, Selin. One of the most critical turning points in Kerem Bürsin's recent life was meeting this enigmatic woman. According to gossip circles, this relationship did not just change his relationship status, it radically altered his perspective on existence. Selin portrays a persona that is fundamentally different from the industry standard. She is comfortable in front of cameras when necessary, but she is certainly not dependent on them for her self-worth. She possesses a calm and modest demeanor, a quiet confidence that protects her own space without the need for aggressive boundaries. This is exactly what Kerem Bürsin was referring to when he reportedly said, "In such a superficial market, her depth impressed me greatly." This statement is not merely a romantic tribute to a new partner. It carries a heavy, implicit critique of his past. It casts a shadow on previous relationships that may have been defined by the artificiality of the industry and the addiction to social media validation. The world of celebrity gossip, with its long memory and sharp tongue, couldn't help but ask the uncomfortable question: have his past relationships been overshadowed by this new philosophy? Kerem Bürsin's words, which put Selin's depth in the spotlight, inevitably led to comparisons with the high-profile romances of his history. According to rumors, Kerem was seriously overwhelmed by media pressure in some of his past relationships. The endless cycle of photos, headlines, and constant commentary disrupted the natural flow of those connections, turning intimacy into a performance. His relationship with Selin appears to be the complete antithesis of that chaos. Calm, serene, and unpretentious. It is a sanctuary rather than a stage. That is why Kerem sees this relationship not only as a romantic endeavor, but as a profound opportunity for psychological healing. He is not just falling in love, he is detoxing from a lifestyle that nearly consumed him. But peace comes with its own turbulence. The rumor mill is churning with reports of a crisis within his professional team. According to whispers from behind the scenes, Kerem Bürsin's decision to stay away from social media has caused a significant rift with his management. It is said that some representatives, panicked by the dropping engagement metrics, warned him sternly, "Being so invisible is risky in this market. You will be forgotten." They argued that out of sight means out of mind. Yet, it is reported that Kerem stood firm, refusing to yield to the pressure of the algorithm. This situation is interpreted by industry analysts as a sign that the actor will enter a much more selective phase of his career. He is trading the volume of projects for the quality of life. He is no longer an employee of the fame machine. He is the architect of his own career, even if that means building a smaller, quieter house. Visibility is the oxygen of the advertising world. An artist who doesn't post stories or generate interaction, no matter how talented or handsome, is viewed as a liability. It is perceived as a break in the communication chain with the consumer. In this case, Kerem Bürsin's decision marked a significant turning point in his commercial viability. According to inside information, several major brands have opted for more active names, influencers who live their lives on the feed. However, sources indicate that this exodus of sponsors did not bother Kerem Bürsin in the slightest. For him, the balance of his soul was infinitely more valuable than the brand deal on the table. He effectively looked at the check and tore it up, choosing autonomy over assets. His statement, "This superficiality suffocated me," had the effect of a silent slap in the face to the entire world of tabloid journalism and his peers. Because this statement contains a direct, unflinching critique of the social media landscape, fast-paced disposable relationships, and the artificial agendas that dominate the news cycle. It is said that some of his colleagues felt personally attacked by these words, grumbling in private groups that he's lumping everyone together or accusing him of arrogance. However, Kerem Bürsin prefers to ignore these criticisms. He understands that when you hold up a mirror to a superficial society, those who see their own reflection will often react with anger. We need to pause here and ask you, the viewers of Whatever You Need, do you think Kerem is being brave or foolish? Is it possible for a modern star to survive without playing the social media game, or has he effectively retired without saying the words? We want to read your theories on the Selin effect and his digital silence in the comments below. And remember, if you want to help us keep telling these unfiltered stories, the join button is the best way to support independent journalism. So how will this attitude affect Kerem Bürsin's career in the long run? Will we see fewer projects? Or will we see more prestigious, substantial roles? Rumor has it that Kerem will focus strictly on quality over quantity from now on. He will choose projects based on his personal satisfaction and artistic merit, not their popularity or potential to trend on Twitter. This approach could distance him from the mainstream popcorn audience, while simultaneously elevating him to a respected position among serious critics and filmmakers. He is trading the idol status for the artist status. Kerem Bürsin's distancing himself from social media is seen by some cynics as a form of disappearance, a retreat from the battlefield. But according to others, it is a true story of self-discovery. It is true that the headlines say he chose love. But perhaps what he really chose was a life away from the noise. The celebrity world knows this truth very well, even if they rarely admit it. Some stars only reach their full potential when they escape the blinding spotlight that created them. As you can see, what Kerem Bürsin did wasn't simply a digital detox. The decision to delete social media is a stance that comes at a heavy price. There are losses, financial, commercial, and in terms of raw visibility. But in return, he regained control. Calm returned to his days. And perhaps for the first time in years, a life that truly belonged to him arrived at his doorstep. So we are left with the ultimate questions. Do you think this is an escape? Or is it the ultimate act of courage? Did Kerem Bürsin truly choose love, or did he save himself from getting lost in a superficial system that was slowly eating him alive? Is Selin just a fling in this story, or is she the anchor that allowed him to weather the storm and change his perspective on life forever? The world of celebrity gossip loves the answers to these questions. But perhaps the most important answers lie hidden between the lines of his silence. Kerem Bürsin has stopped performing for us and started living for himself. And that might be the most dramatic role he has ever played. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the rebellion of Kerem Bürsin. This has been a special presentation by Whatever You Need. If this story of claiming freedom resonated with you, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. And once again, for those who want to be part of our inner circle, the join button is waiting for you. Until next time, remember, sometimes the bravest thing you can do is disappear. Goodbye.